Now, there was another colourful character in a funny costume banging on about sleaze, and that was Martin Bell. He went to Tatton to clean the streets up, but ended up filling them with outside broadcast vehicles and television camera crews. So what happened in Tatton was symptomatic of a lot of living rooms in this election, full of news reporters gashing on about the marginal constituencies, while people really wanted to watch Crime Traveller. So we decided to look really good by sending an anti-news candidate to Tatton to follow Martin's footsteps.
Elvin, anti-news. No news. From no to news, you lose with news.
My name is Kenneth Elvin, and I'm here in Tatton to stand as an anti-news candidate. My pledge, should I win, is that in future, all reporting on general elections shall be confined to the "and finally" section of News at 10. This is a fully costed proposal, it's cheap, and it works. Do you think there's too much news in this election?
Yeah.
Too much attention is being paid to the news. Would you agree?
I agree, yes.
Have you ever been interviewed by a news camera before?
No.
Would you like to be interviewed by a news camera?
Not really.
So we'll take that as support for our cause then. Your anti-news candidate for Tatton.
That's you.
I'm pleased to meet you. I wonder if I could persuade you to turn this news off and switch over to anything else.
Certainly, sir.
1,000 years ago, say, for example, we didn't have any news then, and we managed perfectly well. A man in a hat shouting seemed to be perfectly satisfactory. Good afternoon, my name is Kenneth Elvin. I'm your local candidate for anti-news. I wonder if I could persuade you to turn the news off and put Home and Away on.
Yeah.
Good. The general feel on the street seems to be that people are just fed up with having their privacy invaded by the likes of this. You're being interviewed by a news camera here now.
Yeah.
It's very intrusive, isn't it?
Yes.
Because it's looking at your every move. And of course, if the lighting isn't right, shows up every line, every skin disorder.
I am your anti-news candidate. Down with news. The people of Tatton are sick and tired of news. Keep your news to yourself. Don't even tell your husband. He may be a reporter. If you see Martin Bell, colour him in. Booze news. Tatton booze news.
As if you'd be an issue. Would you like to join my campaign? Join in with me? Come along with me, please. Good afternoon. Would you take one of these and join this campaign?
I am pro-issue, anti-news. As you can see, I have support.
I am a real issue.
Please join me if you consider yourself to be an issue. You are more important than news.
I'm a real issue. I'm a businessman. Get the news out of Tatton now.
What do we want?
To be addressed.
When do we want it?
Now.
News out of Tatton. News out of Tatton.
Mr. Bell, there are a few questions that I'd like to ask you, which I think the people of Tatton would like to know the answers for. Is it true that you have taken cash for asking questions of MPs?
It's not true I've taken cash for asking questions of MPs. I've had a lot of cash falling out of envelopes lately, but they've been white envelopes and they've been directed at my campaign, and they've been properly receipted, and if they're over £100, we send it back anyway.
But you have in short received cash for asking questions before the campaign. I'm talking about particularly though.
No. Oh, in a television sense.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my job, I guess. I was paid to ask questions.
Yes, good.
But I was not serving any commercial interest.
Well, there are other questions. Is it true, for example, that in April of 1992, you took an all-expenses-paid trip to Bosnia for 4 years?
Guilty. Absolutely. I break down. Who
paid for your stay at the hotel there?
BBC paid the airfare.
The BBC
paid for my stay.
And over the years, Mr. Bell, there have been a number of exotic trips abroad.
Absolutely.
Ghana,
It gets worse.
Northern Ireland, 1969, sunny Kuwait, 1990.
Biafra, Rhodesia, El Salvador, Nicaragua. It gets worse.
There are more. Well, how do you feel about subjecting innocent people to the mental stress of your harrowing news?
News out of Tatton. News out of Tatton. News out of Tatton. News out of Tatton.
Right. I think we've got a result.
Oh.
I think we've got a result.
My God.
Hold on.
Ah.
Whoa, let's go straight over to BBC One and our watchers. Have we got a result?
One result.
Miss, we've got
Sunderland South swing to Labour of 11%. They've held it.
Swing.
They've held it of 11%.
BBC go mad, they're saying swing landslide, swing landslide. Bad news,
Michael
they're building a
Heseltine
children's
says-
playground on the edge of a cliff, and it's bad news for the Tories. They're going mad. They've lost Martin Bashir. You missed it.
Really? So basically, if you're a Tory child on the edge of a cliff, you're having a bad time.
It's not all
Big
swings
trouble.
and roundabouts.
Big
It's falling
trouble.
swings,
Keep
falling
watching
roundabouts.
that television.
We're
So there we
watching.
have it. We have our first result. Sunderland South has been held by Labour with a swing of 11%.
And Armando, it's the voice of the balls here. That beats the previous quickest declaration, Billericay in 57 minutes in 1959. Well done, Sunderland!
I can't believe that's going to happen all right. So we're going to do some analysis of that result. That's Chris Mullin's seat in Sunderland South. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to put the result on our scoreboard, and the scoreboard is going to be kept by Jenny Powell. There you go. Okay, Jenny. Off you go. Off you go. There we are, just another 600 to go. And it's about time we introduce some proper analysis into this election, because we've got with us from Banff University the Professor of Politics, Professor Bruce McDade. Bruce, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much, Armando.
What's your analysis then?
Okay, that's it. It's all over. You can pack your bags and go home now. I have a taxi waiting outside. I'm not going right away, but it's there in case I have to go. There's all to play for.
Okay, Bruce, you can just say that on the basis of just one result from a very safe Labour seat, can you?
I can say it from the basis of one result, and at the same time I can't say it from the basis of one result. That's the contradictory nature of modern politics.
Okay, you're going to stay with us for the rest of the night, are you?
Yes.
All right, don't let those buttocks go wandering, because outside now, to see how that result translates nationally, we've got our bouncy House of Commons and Valerie Singleton. Hello, Val.
Hello, Armando. Well, it's very exciting that we've got our first results so soon. And as you can see, this is this fantastic three-dimensional representation of the House of Commons. This is my gang, my team. I suppose really you could call them my human swingometer. And we've got them all in the right colours, of course. We've got Lib Dems over there, we've got Conservatives and Labour, and Sarah here waving her hand is representing all the other parties. And,
good for Sarah.
She's got a hard job to do tonight. And each of the member of my team actually represents 10 members of Parliament. Now that's as it stands at the moment. I can't say it's going to stay like that all evening. And based, of course, on this first result, we are now going to have just one Labour MP in our Parliament. Who wants to volunteer to be the first Labour MP? You go. Okay? Everybody else out the way. Now, you know you're going to be the longest serving MP. Yeah. Make sure you're on the right side of the House. There we go. Well done. Back to you, Armando. We'll have another result fairly soon.
Thank you very much. It's actually quite appropriate that she has a helmet on there, because Chris Mullen, the MP there, is very, very bald. Very, very bald. And more importantly, he's our first MP, which means we can now go to a whore in the helicopter. And give her that information. If you just tuned in, earlier on, we set our harlot up into the sky on a helicopter, Suzanne. She's going to create the first scandal of the new Parliament by going to the headquarters of the first MP who is declared tonight, and then tell everyone what she thinks about him. Right? So we've got the name of the MP. It's Chris Mullen. So let's go to our heli harlot and see if she can implicate him in the first scandal of the new Parliament. Hello, Suzanne. Are you there?
Yes, yes, I am, Armando.
Okay, right, now it's Chris Mullen, Labour. Have you got that? Labour.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. I had a sordid affair with him last year. It was disgusting, and he treated me like a whore.
Okay, then go off you go and bring a man down then. Have you got that?
Yes.
Fly over
I
Westminster.
will stop at nothing to defend my honour.
Cheers. Bye. There she goes. There's our heli prosy there. And we'll catch up with her when she gets her mang. All right? Oh, it's exciting now. What's happening? OK, we're going to take... oh, we've got our first request in for a piece of newsy music from our choir in the lofts there. It's the BBC Choral Affairs Unit, and they've got the first request in. Come through on the lines. If you want to ring in with requests for themes of news programmes, ring in. And the first one that's come through is for Channel 4 News. Off you go, Choral Affairs Unit. To a Labour win. Obviously, we have to be prepared for anything tonight, including the referendum party vote going down since last year. There are also predictions of a last-minute Tory surge, in which case, is this what went on in the mind of many people today? Could be, we just don't know. We don't know.